Hey everybody, how's it going? I want to have a really important conversation for those who are intuitive, for those who think with their heart first instead of their head, and for those of you who are, I'm going to say up front, if you disagree with this conversation, don't even bother commenting because they'll be taken off. And we're not interested in what you have to say if you don't answer in kindness in response to what I'm talking about. Okay? And don't tell me you don't have free speech because that's a whole nother conversation we'll be having later. So I just want to ask you, what does your intuition say? What is your intuition? If you've paid attention over the last 3 months, what is your intuition telling you about what went down with the election? What is your intuition telling you? If you want to put it in the comments, that's fine. You don't have to. But I think we need to pay attention to our intuition, okay? And I'm going to draw a pretty distinct comparison between those who use their intuition to then drive them to take action versus those, and I think I'm going to draw the comparison between what I'm discussing here versus what looked like on January 6th after the last election, okay? So I think a lot of intuitive people, which there are many of us, that we are intuitively feeling. I mean, I literally was like, when I was on live on Friday, no, oh my God, what day is it? On Tuesday, when I was live on Tuesday during the results. The minute somebody said Florida won or something, it was like at 7 o'clock. I'm like, right away, I was like, no, I've never felt this way before. And it's not denial, okay? So if you think you're going to just slam me in the comments and say you're denying, you're saying the election's rigged, all that kind of stuff, I'm not saying it just like that. So hang on a minute, okay? If you look at the facts of how that whole thing went down, when you look at the comparison between Harris's campaign, the support she had at all of the rallies, especially the last one, compare it to the others. The last rally on the other side was ridiculous. They didn't even put any effort into it. They knew they didn't have to put any effort into it, right? There was no effort going on at all. Remember, there was a little secret that was discussed. There was a little secret. But not only that, there are a million examples of things I could say. That's why he didn't care what he said throughout the entire election process. He didn't care. And that's why we were baffled. And you know what? The more obscene things he said, the more we got distracted. And that's what people talked about. And that was the plan, in my opinion and my intuition. It is my opinion, and you cannot tell me that my opinion is wrong. You can have your own opinion. But I'm more interested in this conversation in helping us trust our intuition, because there is a difference between just pretending everything is stolen from you when you lose, which we have seen, and just immediately calling for stuff being rigged. And really, I mean, that's their MO, okay? I mean, and taking up arms or whatever they're going to do. Like, this is not about this, what I'm feeling, my intuition is not about bullying. It's not about denying. It's not about denying the facts. Like, at the last election, I mean, all the court cases that went on, and they came back showing that nothing was wrong. Okay. At that point, at what point after that do you say, okay, all right? And you know what's really pissing me off is that I am seeing this trend, except for the intuitive community right now. The only trend of people saying, wait a minute, wait a darn minute, that's coming from the intuitive community. And all the thinkers, people live in their heads, which is great. We need those. I've got my husband, my sister, hi sis, great thinkers. They're not intuitive, and that's okay. They're just not feeling the same kind of thing. Like I literally just had to convince my husband of all the reasons why I felt this. I mean, a red wave, all swing states. Give me a break, you guys. Give me a break. There's no way. There's no way. My intuition is saying no. And I'm going to give you something you can do after, like, what do you do with this information? Because we're not going to be violent about it. We're not going to be violent. That's not what we do. But that's not what Democrats do. And I don't think that's what Republicans do. MAGAs do that. And we are not that. However, I am sick and tired of Democrats not speaking up. We're going to take the high road. We always take the high road. And you know what? I was just listening to, what was his name? I think it's Medium Brandon, Ross Brandon. Medium Brandon Russ. And he said the best thing, you guys should listen to this. It's so good. Oh, the one I listened to right here is, can you see that? You're going to like his title. This ain't over. Don't think this is over, do you? You don't think this is over, do you? He just said the best thing to me. And I heard it to me. He said it to everybody, but it said, I thought, yes. He said, you no longer deserve my kindness. You no longer deserve my kindness. Because empaths and intuitives and people who are just freaking kind and are moral and were raised with the rules that we were supposed to be following that we learned in kindergarten, that we can agree to disagree. We can be different and civil about it. Yes, I agree with that. However, I am done. If you're going to be an ass, I won't be an ass back. I'm not going to be an ass back, but you no longer deserve my kindness because I'm not putting up with it anymore. And the result of this is my dad. If you've seen the video where I said, will I lose my dad to Trump? And the answer is yes. He decided after I wrote that, and I spoke on it in a previous video, you guys can watch that if you want. He decided that instead of calling me, instead of emailing me back and saying, wow, yeah, maybe we should have had just a daughter-father relationship instead of talking about politics, instead of me nudging you about politics all the time, instead of me trying to convince you all the time. He decided that he was going to rub it in my face and send me an email about how incompetent Kamala was, and that laughing about how many Democrats didn't show up for her. That's what he decided to do. Well, I don't know if he'll ever know this because he'll never hear from me again. I need to call my little sister and talk to her about it because I don't want to put her in the middle. But I don't want her to think it's her either. But, I can't show you that because his email's on there. But he has been blocked. And his cell phone's been blocked. Not that he'll ever call me anyways. And this is a person in the last email that said, however, you are my daughter and I love you. Yeah. Yeah. That's real love. You no longer deserve my kindness because I have been being kind for so long. Oh my God. I have been and just getting myself beat up because my kindness never was reciprocated ever, ever as an adult, ever. I wouldn't say that was like that when I was a child, but as an adult, it was not reciprocated. So you no longer deserve my kindness. So this is what Marianne from Tarot, Marianne from Light. I want to give you. She really inspired me last night too. She really helped me because all the intuitives online were getting slammed about you told us, so everybody was getting slammed. And people they got way worse slammed than I did because I've only been on for like a week and a half. So maybe going on 2 weeks on Saturday, but so I just the courage, and just showing how to deal with this is very helpful. But anyways, you should visit. I really, really like her. I like a lot of people, but they're just the ones I've been exposed to. So Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. And she said for her, she said, this is a resistance channel now. So she is a medium and she's a very spiritual person. But you know what? She isn't, whoever is bullying and being rude, and that's how they, rubbing it in the face of people who have lost something very dear to them. They're rubbing it in our faces. I never did that when Democrats won. I've never done that to anybody. I didn't turn around ever and say to my dad, ho, your person was so stupid. That, and I am not saying that every conservative act like that. They do not. They do not. But that is that is how Trump acts. That is how he acts. And this is who we're going to have run our country? Is this who you want your children to be represented by? To grow up and idolize? No. No. Would we take up arms? Absolutely not. I would never do that. That's ridiculous. That's not how it's done because I'm not a bully. But I'm done. You no longer deserve my kindness. And I'm going to lean on my intuition and I'm going to talk about it. And so here's what everybody can do. You can write, I already did, write to your senators in your state, your representatives, your governor, write to the White House, write to Harris, write to everybody. Just copy and paste email, boom, 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 and say, we demand that you look into this because this is not right. Something is not right. It's just not right. And you know it, right? You feel it. I've seen it in your comments. So we take that energy, we reduce the anger. This is not about being angry because I'm not going to spend my life being angry going forward. But I'm going to use it as energy. But I'm not going to be angry because I don't want to be hateful. I'm never going to be snotty. But I'm going to be serious. And I'm going to stand my ground. Okay? So, people, they'll come on and threaten or whatever, people, that's their MO to like, if so-and-so wins, you're dead or I actually got one of those comments last week. If Trump wins, you're dead. I got that comment. Democrats don't act like that. Okay, maybe some people do. I don't know, but I'm not going to act like that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to resist with hatred. But I'm going to question. And it's funny because when I was talking to my husband about this, he said, but we don't want to sound like them. I'm like, that's what they expect. We don't want to sound like them. Well, guess what? We're going to sound like them. If I have to say it was rigged, then that's what I'm going to have to say. That's not even the language that needs to be used. Something is wrong. If you look at the whole picture, nothing is making sense here. And we need to talk about it. And I am not going to listen to any station on YouTube. I don't listen to the mass media on YouTube, like David Pakman, and that they're just like, okay, it's all done, until they start talking about this, because it's ridiculous. How many of them came on yesterday and just were like, okay, that's what we have to do, when they know damn well that something is not smelling right. So until they start doing this, saying that, because the only people saying it right now are the intuitives. It's the only people saying it because they're listening. We're listening. That's why you feel that way, because you are connected. We're listening. And until they start, they got to get out of their heads, and they got to do, that's the only service they can do for us right now. And if we need to, write a letter to David Pakman, write a letter to Tyler Cohen, all those guys who are talking about this. I'd love to know when they start talking about this. They better start talking about it, because the MO of the Democrats is to just lay down. Okay, we lost. They did it with Al Gore, which, by the way, we could say that was stolen. Hillary Clinton, oh, give me a break. Totally rigged. We could say the same thing, but we just laid back. Nobody investigated. Nobody did anything. Nobody made a big deal. But this one is way too serious. This is way too serious. It is way too serious for us not to speak up. So start flooding those emails to all of your Congress people. Everybody, everyone, your city, your anyone. Just say something is not right and I demand it's looked into. Don't use evil language. Don't be mean. Be very professional. Be very professional. But they work for us. You have to tell them what you expect. Okay? That is how we get energized. And then you got to start telling those who are on YouTube, who have huge masses of people, to start talking about this. They have to start talking about this, because they're using their heads right now, and they need to start using their, and logic is, it's just so logical. It's crazy how illogical this whole thing is, and nobody's seeing it. No one's using their logic. And this is not a conspiracy theory. And you know what? If people tell you you're just being a conspiracy theorist, they're trying to get you to shut up. They're trying to get you to shut up. Because this is not conspiracy theory. Now, my intuition could be wrong. It could be wrong. And I will own that, and I don't care. It's my intuition, and it could be wrong. But from what I've seen, from knowing him, TRUMP, for as long as we have, and all the things that went on over the last 3 or 4 months, nope. This is not conspiracy theory. I watched it. You know the difference between a conspiracy theory and something that's just not truthful. You know the difference. We all know the difference. The people who are here know the difference. Okay, let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe. We have a membership coming. So the SGs, asking the SGs, will be in the channel membership. So people in there will be able to ask questions specifically to the SGs. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be up like tomorrow. So, all right. Leave a comment, subscribe. Love to hear from you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.